right, welcome back to another season of the Ed Carberry Show, and we're here with Southwestern Jaguars head coach Ed Carberry, Dave Dickens from East County Sports joining me. Coach Carberry, well, I'll just go ahead and say it. The reason we have this show, it's the only coaches show, Dave, in all of San Diego.
Absolutely.
Coach Long doesn't have a show. There's no pro football team. No other community college coaches has their own show, and we're going to keep it going this year with Coach Ed. And Coach, we're game week. Here we are. I mean, tell us what's going on with the Jaguars this year in the program, and then we'll start breaking down the personnel.
Okay. Well, right now it's the same process. We've been working it every year, and this is no doubt been one of the tougher years. All off season we've been grinding, working hard in the weight room and doing that stuff. The opportunity to get out here and work with you guys is going to be a lot of fun.
Dave, Beach Bowl champions for the Jaguars last year. I think the goals are a little bit higher, but it was still a very rewarding season last year for Southwestern.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, I know that you never want to use that as a crutch, but injuries do happen, and when the injuries did happen, maybe that held us back just a smidge, but at least we still did get a bowl bid, and I'm sure you definitely wanted to go to the next level.
Oh, absolutely. The whole start of going to bowl started back in 2008, and we went to the Beach Bowl back then, oddly enough, and so it's been a lot of fun. The big goal has been to get guys out on scholarship. I know community college, you'd like to win, you like to do those things, but we've had over 208 guys get scholarships since we've been here, so that's been a big part.
Last year, and I thought it funny, and I like to keep that going. That same tradition this year. You said about the kings of the county.
Kings of the county.
And, with the Mesa College now, and yourselves and Rosemont, and you guys have been playing for so many years and know each other pretty well. The coaching staffs know each other pretty well, so definitely has got to be made it some more fun to play so many local teams and know them so well.
Oh, it's a ton of fun. It's the whole atmosphere picks up. We're going to play Mesa. Really doesn't matter what the games are, the score, all that kind of stuff. The head coach from Mesa that was on our team at Monte Vista in 2001, and he's doing a great job. Mike, I had the pleasure to work with Mike for a year, and he does a great job. And then up in the Palomar area, they're always outstanding and well coached.
Dave, 3 consecutive championships for the Jaguars. Many championships here with Coach Ed. You said a milestone also last year. Coach, I want to talk about this team, but I want to talk about you. How long can we keep doing this, baby?
I don't know. I'm old as dirt right now, so I get that question a lot. How much longer are you going to keep doing this? I start looking around because I'm having fun doing it. So we'll just keep rolling as far as we can. I've been really blessed to have great players and great coaches, a lot of fun over the years.
We'll talk about the schedule and how the conference has changed a little bit, and definitely that the teams are definitely a lot more competitive now at the level that you're at now.
Absolutely. You can't turn sideways, can't look away any time of the day because somebody's recruiting, somebody's out hustling, trying to get those guys out there. But the whole thing about competition and whatnot brings out the best in everybody. And so we're really blessed to be in this league. We tell our players we're playing in the best league in the United States of America. So you better come ready to play.
All right, Coach, and as the season approaches and you got some new personnel always as at the JC level, but you got some returning guys as well, and I think one of the best guys out of those 4 teams you mentioned here in the county, Dave, as well as the entire state, running back DeAndre Daniels. Coach, 1,000-yard rusher last year, 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, he led our conference in Southern California, actually, in rushing touchdowns at 15. He rushed over 1,000 yards. He's got breakaway speed. You don't have to be perfect when he's out there playing. The lineman can miss a block, and it doesn't matter because he's flying through there. We played Mesa last year in kind of his debut, and he had 2, I think 180 and 190-yard run for touchdowns, where, again, we didn't have to be perfect, and we popped out the back. They had all come up, and we popped out the back for a long run.
Yeah, I was actually fortunate to see that game too, and that was one of the bigger things to see, is he put on quite the show. I mean, the seams that he found, and like you said, they missed a block, and you can see maybe a block miss here or there. We're not perfect, but that breakaway speed is just something really to talk about.
And running behind that line this year, Coach, one name I noticed right away from our perspective is Christian De La Cruz of Monte Vista, but who else you got up front?
Well, Christian is he's a lot of fun to be around. He's got a great sense of humor. We've been kind of casually recruiting him for the last couple of years, and it worked out really well for us to get him. But he's done a great job so far. Also from Mar Vista High School, he went to USD. Gabriel Preciado, and Gabriel's about 6'5", 300 pounds. He's playing left guard right now. He was at USD for the previous 2 years and is from Mar Vista High School. And so they've done an outstanding job. We have a guy, kind of a multi-purpose guy,
Diego Mascareno?
yeah, Diego's doing a great job. He played 8-man football in high school, so he had to do everything. So we put him out there at one position. He's at center, then he's at this position, then that position. He's settled in at tight end. He's not your prototypical tight end. He's about 5'11", maybe 6 foot, and about 250. But he's super strong, loves to, and he's got great hands right now. He's making a real difference. We've been a 4-wide receiver team forever since we left Monte Vista, when we just grind and pound. And so we tell everybody, hey, we'll use a tight end if one makes us better. And he's put us in that position now, so we're going to go with 3 wideouts and a tight end this year. First of all, Thad Porlis is our quarterback coach. He does a great job every year. And we've gone to pretty much a 2-quarterback system, depending upon who it is. We're always going to play 2. Some years the one guy's a definite starter. He gets the majority of the reps. And then in the 3rd series of the game, the backup guy comes in. So that we do that because then we're committed to putting him in the game. You don't want to get down the road second half and suddenly the game's tight and you haven't played him yet. And that gives us an opportunity to have a quarterback that if something happens, we're ready to go. The quarterbacks right now is a real duel. There are 3 guys that are kind of almost the same, and so we've picked 2 to start the thing out, and then we'll go from there and see how it works. Brad Jeremiah from Christian High School, a local guy. He's done a great job for us. He's about 6'4", 225, throws a really nice ball. Then
5 dimes in college, might I mention.
He can
Dave,
get it done.
5,000 yards, over 60 touchdowns. We know all about him.
Oh, he's awesome. He comes from a great football family also. It's important to him. And then Kerry Enos is from South Carolina. He's 6'7", about 210 pounds. So he looks a little skinny out there, but he's flexible. So he's got a great arm. Throws a really good deep ball. His family comes from football also, so that's been good. The guy who's going to start the game for us coming up is Josh Owen. Josh went to school at Midway High School in Waco, Texas. And then from there he went to gray shirted at Riverside, and then played last year for Riverside, and now he's here with us.
He played in the game with you, against you?
Yes, at the very end. He was the backup. His high school quarterback that he worked with, there were two guys there in the high school. One of them's at Oklahoma right now. So.
Matthew Linton, who was at Grossmont College last year. Tyler Sycon from Southwest High School. Dave, you remember the spectacular plays and the numbers that he had. He was, all CIF first team and led that Southwest Eagles team to one of their best seasons, maybe if not their best ever.
Tyler's a special player. He's a game breaker kind of guy. He went to UC Davis out of high school, and then returned back. It wasn't a good fit for him, but his senior year in high school he had 40 touchdowns, and he's got tremendous speed. He's got track speed. He ran 14.3 in the high hurdles in the state championship. So he just has just a knack for breaking off and making the cuts and doing the things that he has to do. He's got super hands. Does really well there. Matthew Linton, we're very fortunate to get him to come to Southwestern. And he beat us 3 times deep this last year, so our defensive coach is really happy to have him come over. That's a good group right there right now. I think that will give us a good lead in. What we want to do, we go into every year, we want to be 8 deep. We want 8 guys, so if we put them in the game, nobody's going, oh my God, it's 3rd down, how did Bob get in the game? That's our goal, is to have those guys ready to go, right? And so right now we've got 8 guys that are ready to go. Rajon Benson from Morse High School has got excellent speed. He's a sub 11 flat 100-meter guy, and he's working out there at the wide receiver a little bit.
Now, how about your shifting over a little bit? And and we tend to forget about. I'm going to actually skip over the defense for a moment. And how about special teams? Because last year we had one of the best kickers I'd ever seen. Period.
Right. No, Jaime Medina was a monster. I mean, he had in the Grossmont game in West Hills, he had a 79-yard punt with the wind, but he got the ball out there. So it's hard to replace a guy like that. What we do have is we have excellent speed, so that means we're going to be able to cover kicks, we're going to be able to return kicks, and we've got a lot of guys that like to tackle, and so that's going to be probably the way it's going to start out for sure.
Cesar Macias, kicker.
Caesar comes to us also from Mar Vista High School. He's got a real strong leg, especially in the punting game. He gets the ball up real high. DJ Del Fiero from Eastlake, we caught our eye last year. We were at one of the games over there watching the game at Eastlake, and he's pounding the ball into the end zone. And so he's really gotten improved effort. One of the things we like to do with the kickers and the punters is we're going to run. Number one, we're going to run a bunch of gas to try to get in shape and be at the top of the game that way. And sometimes we'll get out there and there's, we're going to run 5 gassers today, and it's going to get after people, and they're all timed. And then DJ comes out, and we get the snapper holder kicker out there. And if he kicks it and makes it, we don't run. So everybody's put a little pressure on the kicker right there and the snapper. And they, one time, man, they just went totally crazy. They picked him up, carried him up. It was like Rudy. Like he was carrying him on his shoulders because they'd saved him from 5 gassers. So it was pretty funny. So we can get that's going to be our biggest issue, I think, is going to be where we're at in the punt game and the kickoff game.
And defensively for the Jaguars this year, Dave, look, Coach is going to have some returnees, but I think there's one standout on this team. I think if you had to look at some storylines for the county at the community college level, I think the addition this year for Southwestern, having Josh McCurdy, CIF Defensive Player of the Year last year at Eastlake High School, MVP on the defensive side in the Spanos All-Star Game, and somehow he has landed here in DeVore Stadium, Coach, to, I assume, even though he's a freshman, I mean, this guy's probably an instant team leader on the defense, on the whole team.
Well, he takes control. You're right. He is the leader. We were doing a drill the other day, and it had to do with punting. He's our personal protector. You go to any game, you look and see who the personal protector is on the punt team. That's the most trusted guy on the whole team. So, because he's got the punt is going to be field position, and he's got to be able to make all kinds of calls and whatnot. And he stepped up there, came over to me, and goes, "So what are we doing, Coach?" And I told him quickly. He goes, "Everybody over here now. This is what we're going to do." I went, "Oh my gosh, where's this coming from?" So it was really awesome to see that. We recruited and recruited and recruited. We went over, even though we knew how to get to Eastlake. I bet we plowed a new direction right there, just going over there to recruit him and get him here. His defensive coordinator, Coach Price, Lee Price, coached with us for 2 years, and basically we've taken our defense to Eastlake, and he's polished it up and done some things with it. But Josh has been playing in the same defense now for 3 years, so he understands all the checks, all that stuff.
Is there anybody else that's really caught your eye? Let's say in the, I think people forget. They always remember the big guys up front, but they don't tend to remember the guys in the back that are running with those speedy receivers. And I'm talking about the safeties and the corners.
Well, Isaac Wright's a returning starter for us. He played at Saints. He and his brother Terry started at DB 2 years ago, blew his knee out, came back, took a year off, came back and worked his way back. He's the starting slot receiver right now. But Isaac has a great head on his shoulders. He understands personnel. He understands formations. Super smart. Good. Controls the entire back side of the defense. So we're blessed to have him there. Well, it's all tempo, and you got to look at how you're going to win the game and have a strategy for it. Like we played Fullerton last year. We wanted to win the game at the very end. And we lost 19-14. Missed 2 field goals, and they missed 2 field goals. But it was about sitting, standing there, kind of like a lot of people don't know in basketball, you used to be able to play 4 corners, just hold the ball, there was no shot clock. And so you just be like North Carolina versus Duke, they won 5-4. That was it. No scoring whatsoever. And so that's one of the things that we try to look at is if they're a really high-powered offense, maybe we want to slow them down. If they're a no-huddle team, we can get in a sugar huddle where you line up pretty close to the line of scrimmage and you watch that clock go down, and when it hits about 10 seconds away from the snap, we line up and we snap the ball. And then we go back and stand there and wait. And they're totally out of sync.
Now that works great, I think, for the smaller roster teams. But when you say, let's just say, for example, a Riverside team that has 4 teams in one, and trying to really, I'd say, win them or play one of those no huddle, it's never going to work. Unfortunately, how do you actually game plan for somebody like Riverside that's on your schedule?
Well, you're going to either play against a person, an individual, or you're going to play against a scheme. And when you look at that defensively, you got to first watch your opponent, figure out who it is, and what are you going to do. So you look at playing a wing T team, and they've got, say, a 2,000-yard rusher in the tailback. Sometimes you don't even worry about that guy. You just go, we're going to defend this philosophy. We're not going to worry about him. And that gives you a focus to what you're trying to do. If you've got a guy that's a tailback guy like El Camino High used to have all those guys that could run, and you look back there, how are we going to stop him? Because it's players, formation, plays. Well, who's the player, and who can get it done, and what's the formation that he best functions out of, and then what's his play? Because we were talking about it today, that if you're going to win, somebody's going to have to score. Somebody's going to have to gain yards.
All right, Coach, and up front on that defensive line this year, you're pretty excited about some things going on with the defense, and we're going to need plenty of it, just like last year, especially in those big ball games.
Absolutely, and up front, we're real big up front, especially at the tackle position. And Andrew Chassé from Lincoln High School, he was a first-team all-conference player this last year, and just totally dominant. He's about 6'1", 6'2", about 340, and you can't run in there. He's very, very strong and getting it done inside.
And Coach, we wanted to start talking about the tough schedule, but pretty much the same schedule that you've had for several years now. And is there a reason for that? Is there a method to the madness? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we definitely want to play all the other 3 teams in San Diego County. I think every coach does. We were fortunate last year to get out there and be the kings of the county. We beat Grossmont, we beat Mesa, we beat Palomar twice. Beat them in the bowl game, we beat them early in the year. That doesn't happen very often because they're all quality teams. So to repeat at that, it's going to be very difficult. But we open up with Mesa College at home, at Mesa at 6 o'clock. And then Palomar's going to come down, we're going to play them. Then we play Grossmont, I think in week 7 here at home.
And it's always nice because like I said, you and Jordan have been facing each other. You and his father have been facing each other for so many years. So it's always got to be somewhat of a friendly rivalry when you go to play Grossmont.
Definitely. Well, Dave gave me my first opportunity to coach in community college. I coached there as the defensive coordinator in 2000, and he's always a great guy to me. Always willing to help. Tremendous recruiter. And he's definitely missed.
And that pretty much does it. I just wanted to add one last tidbit, and I think you're out there somewhere in Missouri, Carl, but to Carl Danielson, because without him we wouldn't have started the Ed Carberry show. So we really appreciate everything he's done for East County sports, Granite Hills High School, Southwestern College, and I'm sure Ed has something to sign off as far as that too, as far as Carl Danielson's concerned.
Well, Carl's sorely missed. He's out there in Missouri. He sends me a text every once in a while with a picture of him and the lake behind him, so I know he's having fun. We love him to death. He's just a great friend, knew him forever. Really looking forward to him coming back to San Diego at times and getting back and reconnecting with him. But Carl did a lot. He came in with the idea of the Ed Carberry show, which I really appreciate greatly. And I didn't know that we were the only ones that had our own show, so that makes it even nicer. But yeah, Carl's done a great job on this, and he's been our right-hand man, coach our O-line for years here too.